What it do, YouTube? This your boy E Boogie, aka Man of the House, and I was finna make dinner, but my chicken was frozen.
Really,
So
nigga?
now I'm finna make the chicken anyway, but it ain't gonna be for dinner because it's entirely too late. It's what, 9 o'clock, and it just ain't gonna work. But I'm finna show y'all how to make this lit chicken anyway. So in case y'all want some chicken for some salad or whatever, you can copy this recipe and you can thank me later. So what I did first, I preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Okay, so what I got here is 3 large chicken breasts. I don't know where y'all from, but where I'm from, we wash our chicken before we cook it and eat it. So I definitely wash this chicken. So what I'm gonna do now is trim all the garbage off of it. So it's gonna be a nice lean cut. Okay, what I have here is my sharper image blade. Bought this while I was in Miami. It's my favorite knife. Gotta be careful with this knife because it's extremely sharp. So, gotta be careful with this knife. But what I do is, I cut all the garbage off of it. I don't really care about some of the meat loss because I really don't want the garbage part of the chicken on there like that. I'll cut the whole piece off. So what I do is I clean up my chicken, get rid of all of that nasty skin and all that fat and other things on it, and get it ready and prepped for seasoning. So I take the chicken and I repeat this process for all of the chicken breasts, and then they'll be ready for seasoning. See, like this, it's gotta go. Then what I do next is, after I've cleaned all of the chicken breasts, I take each piece and I take the round side and I go to the center line of it, and I take my knife and I split it, aka butterflying it. Cut it right open to spread it open. When you're doing this, if you got a real sharp knife, you definitely have to be careful because you will go through the meat easy and cut your hand. So if you're not any good at that, you might want to set it down on the cutting board and do it. Then you get a nice cut like that. Nice butterfly effect on it. Repeat that for however many chicken breasts you got. Then you season it. And me, I keep a bowl of soapy bleach water whenever I'm cooking meat or anything to keep cross-contamination down. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean the area that I was just working in so there won't be any chicken, water, blood, residue, anything left on the counter. Even though I'm using a cutting board, I still sanitize the whole area. Now what we have here is the seasonings that I use right here. We got seasoning salt. I use Weber. She bought like a ton of it. So we use Weber seasoning salt. Contains no MSG. We use lemon pepper seasoning from Walmart. But we also go to Succulent. And what I got right here is roasted garlic and red bell pepper that I picked up from Succulent. Some Succulent grill. This is what you call everything seasoning, because we put that shit on everything. Then I got a nice garlic butter seasoning. It's definitely delicious. A little garlic powder and a little black pepper. And that's my lineup for seasoning this her chicken breast. It's gonna be lit. Now, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I'm a fan of the Pyrex. I stole this one from my mama like 5-6 years ago, and I never gave it back. And I even bought me more Pyrex, and I still ain't gave it back. But I'm gonna keep it forever, because that's my mama pan. Now, whenever you're working with meat, you definitely want to keep you some bleach water. You want to use some gloves. You want to keep the area sanitized. But a helpful tip also is take all the tops off of your seasonings. You get you a dirty hand, you get you a clean hand. You use the clean hand to grab the seasoning bottles. You use this hand to grab the raw meat. But you never interchange one or the other. So you take one of the chicken breasts. I flip it over on the open side first, because I always want to season the skin side afterwards. Then you take it, and it just depends on your taste of how much seasoning you want to put on there. Me, I like my food well seasoned, but since I'm using so many, you only have to use a little bit of each. But when I tell you it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be lit. That Succulent grill. It's one of my favorite seasonings. Garlic butter in a seasoning. It's not as strong as garlic powder. It tastes just like garlic butter, but it's a dry seasoning. Then you just do a little bit of garlic powder, then a little bit of black pepper. Now I'm gonna hip y'all to my favorite seasoning ever though. Y'all definitely probably need to get in tune with that. Tony Satchery Creole seasoning.
Tastes so good, make you wanna slap your mama.
Now it is spicy, so if you're not really in the spice, you might not want to use it. I give it a little press to push the seasonings in. Then I flip it over, then repeat the process. I'm always very light with the seasoning salt. I'm not a big fan of salt, so I'm always light with the seasoning salt. But everything else, I'd be pretty liberal with, especially since you're baking it. And when you bake the chicken, it also stays very moist. Once again, my favorite. I can't not put this on my chicken. And look at that. Look at that, you guys. If your chicken ain't looking like that before you cook it, then don't even pass it my way. Take a look at that, y'all. Just look at it. Ooh, yeah, you see it. Don't act like you don't see it, because you definitely see it. Yes, sir. You guys, what I have here is an electric skillet. When I say this thing works wonders for grilling and frying without grease, it's actually an Ambiano, and I think we got it for like $20 at Aldi's. And we had it for a while too, so if you ever in Aldi's and you see one, it's definitely worth the purchase. What I'll do is I'm gonna preheat this joint to about 350. Let the element heat up. Okay, once your skillet is heated up, you take your chicken and you place it in the skillet skin side down. If you don't hear that sear, then 9 times out of 10, your skillet wasn't ready. You hear that? And see, once I put my chicken down, I don't move it because I like to see the grill lines in it, and I don't want the grill lines all over the place. That's just my OCD kicking in, but that's just how I do it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this grill up for about maybe 3 minutes on each side till it get a nice color and nice lines. After about 45 seconds on the grill, then I put the top on it, and that start to keep the moisture inside of you. You see the sweat in the dome? That's what you want to see. And once you let it do its thing for about 2 minutes, you remove the lid and you check it, you look at it, and look at that wonderful color that you got on that piece of meat. Then you flip it over in the same spot that they was already cooking in. Yeah, look at that. I ain't gonna even lie, boy, I wish y'all had smell-o-vision, because woo, I'm telling you, if you could smell this right now, you'll bite the corner of your TV or your phone or whatever medium you looking on this on. Put the lid back on. Give it another 2 minutes. Y'all see that? The moisture in the dome frying, that's when you know you got nice, juicy chic on. Yes, sir. Okay, so now once you flipped it over and you let that side cook for like a minute or two. Ooh, yeah. Y'all see that? Y'all heard that? Take a listen. Then you want to remove your chicken and place it in your Pyrex dish. Cut off the heat on your electric skillet and let it sit and rest. Make sure you don't have any kids or any animals or nothing in your kitchen. Shouldn't no animals be in your kitchen no way, but just in case you got a little animal that like to jump around on stuff so they won't burn themselves. So make sure you cut the power off. So let me tell y'all, in my house we use real butter. We don't use margarine or vegetable spread. We're not really health nuts, but butter is so much better for you than that other stuff. So we use real butter. So if you think that butter bad for you or whatever you want to do, hey, it's up to you. Use your vegetable oil spread, use your margarine, use whatever. But me and my family, we use real unsalted butter. What I do next is cut up little pats of butter and I place it directly on top of the chicken, and that helps with the moisture, that helps with the flavor. So yeah, that's what I do. I place the butter in there. I take a little bit of water and a little bit of lemon pepper seasoning, and I pour it directly into the pan, not on the chicken, but in the pan, and let it surround it. This is also gonna help with the moisture of the chicken. Then what I do next is I wrap it tight with a good aluminum foil. And I always found it, if you clean up as you working, it'll be easier. It ain't like I do that, but I've heard that. But yeah, I wait till I'm done, because who got time for that?